Hi, my name is Caroline Baker, and today I'm going to talk about my This Is Me project and what I've learned this semester. So, first, I'm going to talk about the findings from my assessments that I took, and then the concepts that I've learned in class, and the ideas that I can take and apply to my personal and professional life. The first finding that I had was through the social media assessment, and I found that I actually use social media less than the average college student, which I kind of pride myself in. I don't use social media too much, although it is helpful. I like to build relationships more in person. um, the second finding is cultural competency and communication. I have a higher cognitive cultural intelligence, a lower motivational cultural intelligence, and a higher behavioral cultural intelligence. And that means that I am knowledgeable about cultural competency and communication, and I am pretty good about changing my behavior based on the situation I'm in. But my motivational cultural intelligence is a little bit lower. But I think I would attribute that to the fact that I studied abroad this summer and was around a lot of different people and communicating with people in different cultures. And so I really learned how to understand them and know what's appropriate and what's not. So this is a picture from Germany, just a hike that I went on. This is a picture from Florence, Italy, a picture from Dublin, Ireland, and then this is a picture from when I was in Pisa, Italy. So I actually got to go to 7 different countries, so I really got to learn a lot of cultural competency. The third assessment was the Johari window and doing the assessment of the online-offline self-disclosure exercises, and I found that I am low in the amount of online disclosure but high in depth, and then high in depth of amount in or high levels of amount and depth of disclosure offline. So I don't post too much on social media, but when I do, I'm pretty open about it. And then in person, I'm really an open book and honest about myself and building relationships that are on a deeper level. My fourth finding was the emotional or the empathy quotient assessment, and I found that I have high levels of empathy, and so I'm pretty good at putting myself in other people's shoes and understanding their feelings and where they're coming from. And then the last finding was from the listening styles assessment, and I found that I'm high in relational listening and then lower in analytical, lower than that in task, and lower than that in critical. So I do a good job of listening and understanding people's stories and hearing them out, and then I don't listen too much to be critical of someone or find inconsistencies or wrongs in what they're saying. For the concepts that I learned, the first one was nonverbal communication and how that really plays a majority of the role of communication, which was really interesting to learn. And so people really believe what is said or how something is said rather than what is said, and really look at nonverbal cues. So understanding that that plays a big part is important. The second concept is listening and knowing that that is more of an active role in communication rather than a passive role, and that you can be an effective and active listener and play a part in communicating just by listening to someone. The third concept is conflict management and knowing that there are different conflict styles and understanding yours and how you normally address conflict and working to better yourself, and so you can have better results in conflict management and compromise and collaborating and things like that. And then the fourth concept was paraphrasing and learning that by saying what someone said to you back to them, just so you're able to understand what they were saying and make sure you're on the same page really is helpful, so that you guys can be effectively communicating with each other. And then finally is interpersonal relationships and how there are so many different types of relationships, whether it's with a friend or a significant other or a parent or a coworker, but all of these relationships require different types of communication, and knowing that will really help better those relationships. So some ideas I'm going to apply to my personal and professional life is email etiquette will help me when emailing coworkers or bosses in my professional life and being clear and effectively communicating over email. The second is addressing conflict. That'll help in personal and professional life, whether I come up to conflict with different people, and being able to effectively resolve those will be really important and help me out in life. And then the third is cultural awareness. I'm going to come in contact with people from other cultures in every sector of my life, so knowing how to communicate with them and be respectful of their culture will be important. And then the fourth idea is active listening and learning how to be an active listener and knowing that you can better yourself as a listener and clearly understand people will help me in both personal and professional relationships. The fifth idea is paraphrasing to understand, and this will help me to more clearly understand someone, make sure that we're on the same page, effectively communicating, and this will help in the workplace and in my personal interpersonal relationships. And then the sixth idea is knowing that growing in communication skills is important and it's possible to better yourself as a communicator. So that'll be my goal to learn more and more and communicate better every day. So in conclusion, I talked about the findings from my assessments, the concept that I've learned in these classes, in this class, and the ideas that I'm going to apply to my personal and professional life. And I hope that this helped you learn a little bit more about what I learned, and I hope that you have a really great holiday.